Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim, and this is another Real Ideal Gear Review. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about my journey in watch collecting, wearing watches, where I came from, where I am today, and then a little bit about my background. There's been a few questions that have come up. I've actually gotten emails about, tell us a little bit more, tell me a little bit more about this. You mentioned this in the video, like what does that mean? Where are you going with that? So just going to throw a couple of those things out there. So let's get started with my watch journey. My watch journey, I've always worn a watch. When I was a little kid, I can't remember a time when I haven't worn a watch. Probably early elementary, I'm sure I didn't wear a watch. But when I got to later elementary years, like 5th grade, 6th grade, I think I had a watch on the entire time. I've had all kinds of digital watches, the early Casio models. We're talking 1980s. So this is back when I think it was the 91 was out. I had the Casio Data Bank for a while. That was the one that was the updated version, not the one with the buttons that stick way up off the pad, but the really smooth surfaced one. I had that one. I thought that was really cool. I've had some analog watches. They've all been quartz watches up until last summer. Last summer is when I got my first mechanical automatic watch, and I was just amazed by it. You know, here I am over 50 years old. This is the first time I got hooked into like the mechanical watch world. So it has been the floodgates opening up last summer as far as just like, oh my goodness. And the reason that happened was I was looking for a replacement for my Casio Pathfinder triple sensor that I had, which was a titanium version that had been close to 20 years old. I think it was 18, 19 years old. And I'd worn it every day, all day, at night, to bed. I mean, it just never left my wrist. Actually, that was that watch. I had a Casio Pathfinder triple sensor before that was a non-titanium version. So I had those two prior. That was 18, 19 years total. So I was looking for a new updated version, found one, and then I saw these watch videos that were out there, and I came across Dave over at Just the Watch. So Dave, thank you very much for the plug on your channel, for my channel. Great guy. Kudos to Dave for the work that he's done and the reviews that he does. And the work he's doing in Japan also as a pastor. Great mission field, and I wish you all the best out there. And so I'm going to put Dave's link in the description down below. So if you are not familiar with Dave over at Just the Watch, make sure you check him out. He does a great job. Great guy. He gives us straight advice as well. But I did the research on this watch and found these other options that were out there. And of course, I went down the rabbit hole like any fox would. And there we go. I've got more watches than I can count on two hands. And they're all interesting. And so my wife was like, what are you doing, Tim? Like, you got all these watches. Why do you need more than two? Like, two is excessive. So she started to talk to me about that. At the same time, she tried one on. And then the next thing I know, she's got a bunch. And so I've kind of helped her along as well. But it's one of those things that it just, neither one of us realized the variety that was out there and just the different uses. And, you know, there's all this coordination that you can put into a watch as far as when you wear it and why you wear it and all that. So I've just really enjoyed that journey. It's been something that has, I guess I've latched onto. I'm a passionate person about certain things. Like when I get into the watch collecting piece, I go all in on it, research it, that kind of thing. And I found that my background is the same way. I have 4 degrees and almost finished with a doctorate. I have the coursework and comps done for it, no dissertation. I'm not sure I'm going to finish the dissertation. I'm just not all that interested in finishing it right now. But all of this in education, with the exception of my first degree, which is law enforcement. Because I almost didn't graduate high school, and I wanted to get when I graduated high school, I wanted to get a degree that took the least amount of time and without any math. And law enforcement was the bill. And I loved law. I love law. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I did not want to go to 6 years of college to do that. The irony is I finished my law enforcement degree and then changed my mind when I got into the academy and said, I think I want to be a teacher because I want to get my summers off. Well, none of the classes transferred, so I ended up going back to school for 4 more years, plus the 2-year law enforcement degree, where there's your 6. And so anyway, the life lesson of the School of Hard Knocks was open for business for me. So anyway, so I've got a slew of background in the college world. I've been in public education as a teacher or an educator, administrator for 24 years. I taught middle school math and science. And I've also been a principal, dean of students, and a superintendent of a school district. I've also been a deputy superintendent of the Department of Education here in Montana. So those are all great experiences. I've run for public office. I ran for the U.S. House seat here in Montana. We only had, at the time, just one House of Representatives seat. So I ran. That was another great experience. Learned a lot about politics, learned a lot about the internal politics within the party that I generally identify with, which is the Republican Party. And I say generally because the Republican Party is going through, I think, a transformation. We'll just say it this way. The Libertarian Party has got its fingers wrapped around the Republican Party in a way that I think is changing it. I just don't agree with it. But anyway, that's the political side that I experienced. And I'm still involved in that in the background as far as the Republican Party goes. And I just encourage everybody to be active in whatever political, bent you have, whether it's Democratic, Libertarian, Republican, whatever the party is. Be involved, vote, get out there and just voice your opinion and voice your opinion and vote. So just be involved, and that's something that I've learned, and I'm learning a lot about that as well. So that's another passion I have, is politics. Haven't been shy about it. I don't mind speaking in public at different forums for different things. So hence the YouTube channel as well. As far as hobbies go, I'm a pretty active guy. I love competition. I've been involved in athletics all my life in some form or fashion. I've been a competitive guy forever. Even when I was in education, there were things that I'd made into competitions, at least in my mind, that just helped me motivate myself and do the best that I can. And I think that's evident by the work that I was a part of, the teams that I've worked with, the school districts that I've worked with. We experienced a lot of success, and I think a lot of that has to do with teamwork. I think it has to do with good leadership, a good leadership team, and a competitive spirit. Get out there and kick some butt, and that's something that I think is really important, that you get out there and kick some butt. But you got to get out there. I just got a text message from somebody about this meeting that we have tomorrow, and just complaining about this, that, and the other thing. And my response is, you got to be in it to win it. So if you're not going to be a part of it, you're not in it to win it. So let's either get involved or not. So anyway, that's kind of some of the background, some hobbies, outdoor interests. I've done mountain climbing, competitive pistol shooter. I'm an instructor for pistols. I do concealed carry training for that. I love just the shooting sports. I love the outdoor sports generally. And I grew up in Minnesota, and I came out to Montana, and part of that was, not part of it, the majority of the reason why I came out to Montana was absolute shame and running away from my responsibility and the sin in my life. And just so that, I'm, fully upfront about this, I'm a Christian, and I'm a Christian reluctantly because of my own habits and my own hang-ups. And God has transformed my life in a way that I can't explain totally. At the same time, it's been the most important, best experience of my life, and He is to get all the credit for that. When I came out to Montana, I was completely alone. I didn't know anybody. I was working. I took a job as an administrator and in a small school district. And long story short, I'm going through a divorce because of what I had been doing. And I was sitting in my parents' driveway in my car, August of 2011. And I just had an honest conversation with God. When I was a kid, I thought I was a Christian, and I had, prayed the prayer to avoid hell. I just don't want to go to hell. And so I'm in my parents' driveway. I'm 41 years old. And I said, God, I don't trust you. Now, I had prayed this other prayer when I was 6. Yeah, I want to be a Christian. I want to be a Christian. And here I am, 41, saying, God, I don't trust you. And it was a humbling moment in my life. And I said, I don't trust you. I don't trust you with my relationships. I don't trust you with me. but I can't do this by myself. I can't. I'm yours. You got it. I don't know what I need to do other than just say, I'm yours. And from that moment on, there was a change, fundamental change in my way of thinking, in my perception of just how things work. When I would read the Bible, it was different. I understood things differently, and all these things come together, and all this educational training and skepticism that I had learned about and asking questions, and all this is and the Bible actually passes all these tests. I have no excuse, and it's just been changing my life. So that's kind of the personal side of me, and all that transformation and all that passion has translated not only in my faith, but it's also come back to some of the other things that I do in my life professionally, and also my hobbies and the outdoor activities, and even watches. And so I just encourage you guys out there that are doing watch collecting just to be careful about where your passion lies and the priorities that you have. Make sure you keep priority number one, keep priority number two, and so on. And enjoy it. If it's fitting in the right spot in your priority list, enjoy it. If it's number 7, enjoy it when it's number 7. And I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. There's all kinds of things to have your interest wrapped around that are healthy and interesting. So that's a little bit about me and upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing a collaboration video. I'm going to do some Lume specific videos, one of them including full Lume dial watches. I've got another watch coming in that I'm just excited to put into the collection. I'm going to hang on to it because I really, really like it, and I've been waiting months to buy this one, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the collection. It's another full Lume dial. I love Lume. It's one of my more important aspects of watch collecting. So we got some of those things coming up. So keep in tune for that. Also the lawn mowing piece, if you're interested in that, there'll be some politics coming up too. I haven't really gotten into that at all, but I'm going to try and pique your interest when it comes down to politics and education and some of those things that I've just been working with and massaging and getting my hands dirty in over the past few decades. So I appreciate your time, and my name is Tim. This has been almost a review, more of a review of my life. I appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.